with comedian David Boyle, and I'm quitting alcohol, and it's Friday again. Everyone's favourite day of the week. I didn't have to go into work today. I had a day off because I'm my own fucking boss. I choose what hours I fucking work. No one's the boss of me. Nah, because I crushed my fucking finger on Wednesday and it hasn't stopped being painful the whole fucking time. So I went in for x-rays today and it turns out I've got a double fracture on the tip of my index finger. And I haven't had anything done to it and I've been smashing it every fucking 2 minutes. Every time I hit it, it feels like a fucking electric shock. So that's my week. So that's my Friday. Finding out I have a broken finger from a job I don't want to even be at. Anyway, it's party time for you cunts. It's fucked up Friday. It's story time. I had a listener from Colombia message me this week. Sounded like a good dude. Jonathan Fegelin. It's Jonathan Fegelin. I don't know. Forgive me for not pronouncing it fucking right. Anyway, he sent me in. Basically, he said, I like your podcast. He hasn't been able to stop drinking, but thank you for your podcast anyway. You're not funny, but you're definitely smart. I'm like, thank you very much, because you've got fucking one thing right there, mate. I am fucking smart. Not funny, but sharp as a fucking tack. Anyway, we got talking, and I told him I'd been to Colombia a couple of times, and he's like, do you have any stories about Colombia? And I'm like, bro, have you not been listening to the last 180 days of this fucking podcast? Of course I got some stories about Colombia. Of course I do. So here it is, my story in Colombia. So in 2010, I was traveling around the US, was starting to run out of money. So me and my mate who I was traveling with, Callan O'Sullivan, he's still one of my best mates to this day. We fucked off to South America to save some money. We flew straight into Colombia. We flew into Bogota and we had some parties there, and then we're like, fuck it, let's go to the coast. We need to get to the coast to show off these fat white bodies. We need to be near the sea to show off our whale-like physiques. So we get to this place, Santa Marta, right up in the north of Colombia, and it's sunshine. We're like, yeah, let's party. This is our first day in Santa Marta. We got in early in the morning. It was about 7, 8 o'clock. We get into this hostel. I forget the name of the hostel, but it was one of those fucking unbelievable ones. One of these famous backpacker ones, but it was cool. They did it right. And so me and Cal get into this hostel. It's early in the morning. We start drinking at the bar. We're like, yeah, this is fucking sweet. This is what we're after. Yeah, sunshine, mamacitas, all that sort of shit. We're like, yeah. And then we're like, fuck, we've been in Colombia a week and we haven't even done any coke. Who are we? What are we doing? What are we doing with our lives? We haven't even taken any cocaine in Colombia. We should be ashamed of ourselves. So we start putting the word out. We're like, we're after some cocaine. The two big boys from Australia are ready to fucking rock and roll. No one was that interested, so we asked the owner of the hostel. We're like, we're after some coke. Do you know where we can get some? He's like, I do. About 200 meters from here, there's an internet cafe. They sell all the cocaine to the tourists here. He's like, watch out though, because they've cracked down on it. It's no longer legal here, and they're really busting tourists. And we're like, yeah, that's because those tourists are fucking idiots. You're talking to two fucking Australian big boys here. We've been around the block a few times. We know our shit. He's like, who let you in? So we're like, fuck it, we'll go down to this internet cafe. Had a couple more drinks and then left. Went to the internet cafe. It was only 200 meters from the hostel. Through this like shopping plaza, outdoor shopping plaza thing. So we get to this internet cafe and we're like, so how much is the gear? They're like 100. Like $100 a gram? What a fucking ripoff. We're in Colombia, cunt. Could have bought $100 a gram in fucking, not in Australia, definitely not. It's 300 a gram here. Could have bought it somewhere cheaper. He's like, no. 10 grams for 100. We're like, yes, now we're talking here. Now we are talking. We're like, yeah, all right, we'll take the 10 grams. Why not? My mate Cal, He was the one doing all the bartering. I was pretending to be on the computer, keeping a lookout. And so Cal comes back over. He's like, there's snitches around here and the police are after tourists. Can you hold the cocaine? Can you just put it down your pants? And thank God for my quick thinking. I said, I would, man, but I'm not wearing any boxer shorts. It was a fucking stroke of genius, that was. I wish I had known this was going to happen. I would have chucked on some boxer shorts, man. Because all I want to do is carry that 10 grams through the streets. I was wearing boxer shorts, by the way. I just didn't want to fucking carry it when there's snitches in the fucking street. You know what I mean? You understand? So Kel's like, fuck it, I'll carry it. And so we left the internet cafe and we're walking out and Cal is fucking paranoid. He's like, fuck, man, fuck. Let's just get back to the hospital. I'm like, dude, it's 200 meters. Just fucking cruise. And he's like, just walk fast, man, walk fast. And he's all stressed out, obviously, because he's holding it. And I'm just laughing my fucking head off. I'm like, oh, fuck, there's a cop. And he's like, shut the fuck up, man, shut the fuck up. And we get to this plaza shopping walkway thing. And I'm like, oh, dude, there's cops. And we look up ahead and there was fucking cops. And we keep walking. And then they just fucking point directly at us. And I'm like, dude, they just fucking pointed at us. They just fucking pointed at us. He's like, what do we do? What do we do? I'm like, just keep fucking walking. Just keep walking, man. Maybe they weren't pointing at us. And we just kept on walking. He's like, I'm going to run. I'm like, don't run. They'll fucking chase us. They'll catch us. Don't worry. Maybe they weren't looking at us. And we walk a little bit closer and then both the police officers point directly at us. And it's definitely us they're pointing at. And it couldn't be anyone else. And then we're like, oh, we're fucked. We are fucked. And in the back of my head, I was thinking, Cal is fucked. Cal is so fucked. But at the time, I was like, we're in it together, man. So we walk up and the police officers knew straight away we'd just bought cocaine. He's like, cocaine, get against the wall. And so we both go up against the wall and he starts patting me down. Police officer thought I had it. So he's patting me down. Cal's up against the wall as well. And I'm pretty calmly getting patted down and I'm thinking, fuck, that's all right for me, but Cal's next. He's about to get patted down and he is gonna be in fucking shit. So the other police officer starts to pat down Cal, and just as he's sort of starting, the police officer that was patting me down went into my pocket. I had nothing in my pocket, but I just reacted and I ripped his hand out. And I'm like, there's no weed in there. There's no fucking weed in there. There's no weed. And I just lose it. I'm like, it's not weed. It's not weed. It's not marijuana. No marijuana. He's like trying to calm me down. I'm going off my head. He comes back at me and I pull a broken cigarette out of my pocket and he grabs my hand and I'm like, it's not marijuana. It's not marijuana. Pries it open to see what's in it and then takes what's in my hand, which is this broken cigarette. And I'm like, it's not marijuana. What do you want? What do you want? And I pull some money out of my pocket. And I'm like, what do you want? Do you want fucking money? Do you want money? And I start throwing money at his feet. Like I start throwing money at his feet as though he's asking for a bribe. And I'm going off my fucking head. Like I'm screaming. And the guy has stopped patting down Cal. And Cal's run over to me and held me back as though I'm going psycho. And I just keep going more psycho at this police officer. I'm just going off my fucking head. I'm like pretending I'm about to attack him. And then the police officer that was about to pat down Cal pulls a machine gun and points it directly at my fucking head. And then Cal's going, just calm down. Everyone calm down. And he's grabbing me. He's like, calm down, man. Calm the fuck down. I'm like, it's not fucking weed, man. It's not fucking weed. And then the police officer who had taken the broken cigarette out of my hand walks back over to us, points at me, and he's like, you come over here. And we walk about 10 meters down the road. Cal is standing next to the other police officer who just pulled the machine gun at my head. And they're just sitting there like having a little chat to each other, like what's going to happen now. And I go down there and the police officer opens his hand breaks a little bit of the cigarette open, smells it, throws the cigarette down, and goes fuck off, basically. Like, go back, go home. Cal walks over to me while I'm with that police officer, and he's like, I'm so sorry about my friend. I'm so sorry. He's a wild child. There's problems with him. And he puts his arm around my shoulder like, we've got to get him back to the hostel. He shouldn't be out on the street. And we leave the 2 police officers there. They're not entirely sure what just fucking happened. Me and Cal speed walk into the hostel, lock the door behind us. I'm like, Cal, stash that fucking cocaine somewhere where no one can fucking find it before these police officers bust down the door again. And so he fucks off and hides it. He comes back to the bar. I'm sitting there fucking shaking. He comes back and he's shaking. And we just give each other the biggest hug of fucking all time. And then we just start doing shots. It was high octane sketchy. And then after about 10 shots, the fear turned into tell every single person in the hostel what just happened. And then we became the famous people in the hostel. The Aussie guys who got busted and then got away with it. So that's the Colombia story. That was Santa Marta. And on a side note, we ended up doing pretty much all that cocaine that night with a couple other people. And we ended up on the rooftop, paranoid as fuck, freaking out. Cal thought he was going to have a heart attack, and we both wigged out like fuck. It was a beautiful night. It was a beautiful time to be alive. Okay, that's it for me tonight. I'll speak to you later.